Hey everybody, this is Damer, and this is Torchlight 2. It's developed by Runic Games. It was released between 6 months and a year ago, or something along those lines. A decent amount of time ago. But it's gotten a lot less exposure than Diablo 3 did. However, it's a pretty fun action RPG, and there are some very familiar elements to it. So, since it got a lot less exposure, I really quickly want to go over some of the basic systems and stuff in the game, character progression, skill progression, those sorts of things, and then I'll show you a little bit of combat. Um, while I go into why I wanted to cover a game that's kind of old and not completely underexposed, but so yeah, so when you level up, you get 5 attribute points that you can spend in any of these 4 areas. You have strength, dexterity, focus, and vitality. Each of them kind of do something for you. Um, it's not always too awesome. Strength, you kind of only really want it if you're going for certain builds. There are certainly, even as a caster, you can kind of go for a build where your weapon is actually something you're using instead of filling all your slots of skills. So strength can be all right for anyone, but it's just not what I'm really going with. However, there is like a warrior or Templar or some kind of beefy, tanky kind of character that will use his strength as its main main attribute. Then you have dexterity, and increases the chance to perform critical strikes and to dodge enemy attacks. Dexterity also increases fumble recovery. Fumble recovery, I believe, is it's the damage penalty if an attack is fumbled. So I think it's some kind of a hit mechanic, sort of like a hit chance kind of a thing. However, critical strike chance, that's pretty self-explanatory, and as you can see, I've been kind of putting a decent amount of points in it. Then there's focus and vitality. Focus increases my magic damage and my execute chance. Execute chance is the chance to strike with 2 similar weapons simultaneously. However, once again, because I don't use my basic attack from my wand, that doesn't happen too often for me. However, magic damage is kind of my thing, so that works out. And then vitality, of course, is armor bonus, block chance, and health. However, I don't use a shield, so that's alright. Armor in Torchlight 2 increases physical and elemental armor, so that's kind of an all around good stat. But as you can see, I haven't really been dumping too much into vitality, so my armor is a little low. Basically, I've just been going with 3 points into focus, followed by 2 in dex, and then every around third round or so, I put the 2 points in vitality. However, I have noticed that I've been taking a lot more damage lately, so I've been thinking about putting some more into vitality. Maybe next level ish, dropping all 5 into vitality and just calling it good for a little while. Let's see how that goes. And you also get at least 1 skill point per level. I've noticed that it's not always 1. I mean, this time I obviously had a couple of points stored up, so there is that. However, I have noticed that at a few points I have managed to gain more than just the 1 standard point. So there are 3 trees, and I assume this is the same for every class. I have not checked them all out yet, though. There's so for God, I forget what this class is called, but it's your mage archetype. You have a fire tree, a frost tree, and a storm tree, which is lightning. This skill, pro tip right here, this skill is completely overpowered, like 100% overpowered. So the lightning tree though is pretty fun, although this one's fairly useless. This one's kind of cool, but you have to get it up to tier 3 before it really is going to be too valuable, but it hits pretty hard. Yeah. And then this one, this is going to be a good. This is another option actually that I could go with for a little bit more effective health because it provides health recovery and mana recovery from killing monsters. So yeah, and then at the bottom of each of these trees you have passive abilities. Um, so I've just kind of been picking and choosing. You don't really have to take anything that you don't really want to. You can kind of, as you can see, I can skip around and kind of take what I really want and leave what I don't. So then an interesting mechanic about this class is this Ember Mage charge bar. That's what it's called, an Ember Mage. And basically when this charges up, your skills don't cost mana and they do 25% more damage. And this passive, not that passive, this passive increases the charge rate and decreases the decay rate. You can put 15 maximum points in a passive just like you can in an ability. However, something very interesting with the abilities that you will see is that each ability has different tiers, and each tier something happens. It's improved in some way. In this case, it's only improved damage-wise. This one, the arc widens. This is kind of like here I have it on my left click here. So that's that one. I don't really like it. I don't know why I've put so many points into it. I've kind of stopped. But so this one widens the arc, so that actually might be worth getting a few more points in. That might make it a little bit better, but this is really cool. It's like a ball of thunder that drops down, and then it'll shock enemies around it. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I've just kind of been picking and choosing what I want. I haven't really noticed there to be any reason not to kind of just go with what you want. Seems like you're going to get plenty of skill points. I don't know what the max level is, but I know the max level in Torchlight 1 was I think 100, so I think eventually you'll probably get a good chance at least seeing all of them that you want to see. So yeah, that is your basics here. I mean, you have your typical move with left click, and then you can force yourself to stand still with shift. But another pro tip: rebind that to spacebar, because spacebar in all these action RPGs is usually a close all windows function. So if I had like both of these open, I could hit spacebar and it would have closed them all. Apparently I didn't rebind that because that didn't work. But so yeah, I'm going to show you guys some combat. This is a quest that I'm kind of on, and oh, I should put those skill points in, huh? Oh, I can't do another one. That makes me kind of sad. Okay. So yeah, this is just a quest that I've been on, but more importantly, I wanted to kind of talk about the developers of this game and why this game has such a familiar feel to it, I guess. Because as you noticed, like, that skill tree was very reminiscent of, oh, I have no freaking, oh, I get it. I get it. Okay. You can see that skill tree had, it was very reminiscent of the Diablo 2 skill tree, and the fact that you could put attribute points in. There are a few other instances of very close similarities to Diablo that I've kind of noticed. Like, there's a sort of treasure goblin mechanic in this area that I'm at. I didn't really show you guys too much, but I'm in like a deserty area, and like in Diablo 3 how those twisters would come down out of nowhere. That's happened a few times. So the reason for that is that at least some of the people at Runic Games are from the original Diablo 2 team, and they are the ones that have created this wonderful little bit of a game for us. I wouldn't say that it's on Diablo's level though, and I wouldn't say you should expect it to be. I feel like the combat in Diablo 3 definitely outstrips the combat from this game. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I don't want to die. Dying is like no fun. It's never any fun. So yeah, they were the same. Some of the people that created Diablo 2. And for at least a while, we're the ones working on what would have been Diablo 3. And this very much so feels like it's in keeping with what those developers had in mind. You know, the skill progression is still the same. yeah, it's just overall very, very similar to what we would kind of expected a similar game to be. Um, oh wow, spikes! Everybody loves spikes. Did I mention that I don't like spikes? Wow, that was horrid. This is I did not pick a good spot to try and do a commentary in. Wow. I thought this would be like an arena that I just had to like survive in, because that's what the quest kind of sounded like. I was wrong. But yeah, so the game, it's not quite as polished as Diablo 2 is, or 3 is, in terms of combat. It very much so feels like a successor to Diablo 2. The combat is a little bit clunky. Things don't always kind of go where you aim them. I've noticed a little bit of bad pathing when your mouse is like close to an edge. You'll suddenly jerk in the wrong direction because it thinks you're trying to run up a hill that you can't. So it kind of takes you in the wrong direction. But overall, though, it's nothing too bad. And the combat's fairly easy. I don't remember if there was a difficulty option. I kind of want to say there was, but I kind of want to say there wasn't. But regardless, it's pretty easy. However, it's still fun. But yeah, the main point is that ooh, I got some pants, some mysterious pants.
I can't carry anymore.
So I think that the interesting point is that it's made by the same people as Diablo 2, and that just kind of like, it makes the game kind of interesting to see like kind of where they would have taken Diablo and the kind of you know, atmosphere and stuff they found interesting, and all that jazz. And it is a fairly cheap title as well. It was only $20 on Steam, and it's got some really great replayability. The first Torchlight had a sort of map system where you would find these maps that were items, and you'd right-click it and it would bring up a portal, and you'd go into this dungeon, right? You'd complete the dungeon, and it would be higher and higher levels, and that was to kind of break up the monotony of what Torchlight 1 was, which was just like an infinite dungeon downwards. There was something like 100 and something levels to this dungeon. It was insane. I never finished it. So yeah, another really cool thing that I forgot to kind of show you guys is that you have this pet right here. It's my little owl, my owl buddy, and you can give him your items so that he can take them to town for you. Oh, I might want those. No, not those. Oh, I can't wear those. Okay. What about these? Oh, dear lordy. Wow. Those are impressive. At least for this level. I mean, I haven't really seen too much. That's pretty good. Although I do lose some stuff. I lose some poison armor. I'm not too really worried about resistance right now, though. And then as you can see, there are set pieces and stuff. But yeah, mostly this is what I wanted to show you. That your pet has an inventory and can equip spells just like you can. You can equip some extra spells in these slots. You get 4 of them, and then you'll find these. And this was in Torchlight 1 as well. And these kind of progress. So here's Heal Self 2 and so forth. And yeah, so you can pretty much load up your pet and then send it back to town, and it'll sell all of its stuff, sell all your stuff for you. And you don't have to constantly be running back to town when your inventory is full. So I thought that was pretty cool. Wow, I really did not think that this would keep going. Holy moly. So yeah, I mean, combat is pretty... It's smooth enough. I do find that the trees do seem a little boring still, which is a little disappointing. I don't know, I haven't reached the end yet. I haven't seen the final tier abilities and things like that you'll get, so I don't want to pass final judgment on it yet. I will probably be finishing this whole game this weekend, so I'll probably do... I know I'm going to do another video on this, so I'll give you guys some kind of final thoughts on that, how the game ends up in the long run. But the main reason I'll be doing another video is an aspect of this game that I do want to talk about. This game is moddable, just like Diablo 2 was. And I have to say that, you know, the fans did not disappoint. It has certainly reached the same level of craftsmanship that Diablo 2 eventually had. I mean, we have people creating whole new acts to the game. And I think that's the mod I'll probably be showing off. I believe it has an extra class or something, as well as an extra skill system. So I believe the guy who made it created some more skills for you to get and stuff like that, and maybe improve the skill system a little bit. And that's one of the things that's so great about this game, is that I love developers that encourage you to kind of take ownership of the game. You know, it's a game that you like so much, and it's fun to be able to say, well, I really liked this, but I wasn't too big of a fan of that, and kind of get rid of it if you want to spend the time to do it, or if it's a thing that enough people want. You know, other people will be doing it. See, here are these twister things that I was telling you about that pop up and surprise you. Ooh, I got another cool one. Ooh, and a new couple spells. Yay! So these skeletons are coming from one of the spells that I gave to my pet, who is also super OP. I don't know if that's that I've gotten some good drops or what, but yeah, my pet's pretty strong, especially with the abilities that I've given him. He has a shopping list. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even see this. This is cool. Okay, so he has Summon Skeleton 2, Retribution 2, Summon Nether Imp 1, and Summon Archers 2. And those are, I don't know, they've made him pretty strong. That's all I can really say, is that he's pretty freaking strong. So let's see what I just got. I got Elemental Overload 3. The caster is imbued with increased elemental damage and strength. Fireball 3. I think I get a fireball, right? No, that's a magma sphere. Okay. Silence 2. Silences enemies within 7 meters, preventing them from using most skills. That could be useful later on. So, yeah. That's pretty cool. I think I'll go ahead and equip that. And, I don't really have anywhere to put it, though. I'll go with this here real quick, and then we'll move on here, because I've reached the end of this here section. So I wanted to show you guys a few things back in town, and then kind of wrap this up here. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty fun. Oh, you see what I mean? I only deemed 1 level, and I only got 5 stat points, but I got 2 skill points there. So if you truly wish to free the guardian, you must humiliate my own rival. Blah 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 blah. Stealing this person's lamp of marvels, and I'll get some kind of oh, that's kind of good. I think I actually have other pieces of that. So yeah, so I want to quickly show you guys town here real fast. This is Act 2. I said that a little hard, I think. 2. Soften that T up a little. Alright. So, this is Act 2. So this town is actually slightly bigger. So you basically have your basic shops. You have your general goods. You have your blacksmith. Your collector of fine things.
Welcome, my friend.
Arcane Tombs 3 knowledge that increases the damage of one's stave and reduces the requirements of rings and amulets. Actually, that's actually kind of cool. I'm gonna buy that. Alright. Turn this in. Alright. Cool, so yeah, you have your basic... Oh, cool. Target. You can see that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, your basic town. That's where I came from, but I'll have my teleport to go back. This is a pretty cool guardian area. Here's the respec guy. So you can only remove the last 3 points that you spent. I think that's kind of a way to kind of give you some sense of character permanency. So yeah, there's that. You got the fishing in the game still. You have your gem smasher who will take gems out of items and leave the item, and then you have the gem saver who will destroy an item but take the gem out. A nice little trade-off there. This person will combine items. Why do they have an item of mine in there? Interesting. Oh, I think that's just a placeholder kind of a thing. And then this gentleman will enchant your items. So, yeah, guys, that's Torchlight 2. Really fun game. Check it out. And I'm going to be bringing you another video of Torchlight 2, and I'm going to show off a mod from this game, because the mods really add a lot of replayability. They add, like, anything you can think of. There's a full respec potion, so in case that really bothers you, there's a full respec potion. There's a whole extra act that somebody created. There's a bunch of different, like, pets. There were only a few options at character select, so there's a bunch of different pets. Yeah, pretty much anything and everything you can think of for a mod is available for this game, and I think that's pretty awesome. So yeah, next video I will be wrapping this up a little bit, and kind of showing you how, if you combined this system, which is kind of where Diablo 2 would have been taken to Diablo 3 if perhaps if the same team had stuck around, and maybe where they would have ended up, at least a little bit closer to it. However, it combines this with what we actually got in Diablo 3 a little bit, and a few other things. I'm not going to tell you what game it is yet, because I still want to keep that a surprise. But yeah, guys, it's a game. It's quite a doozy. It's an amazing game. So, and I'll give you a hint. It's free to play. It's free, guys, and it's probably the best action RPG. Yeah, in a long time at least. I don't know. I personally find it to be much more enjoyable than Diablo 2 was. So I look forward to sharing that with you guys. If you liked the video, please like it, subscribe it, and I'll see you guys next time.